Hey guys, Cronus Falls here, and today I am bringing you a guide on the uncommon champion Armiger. So for those of you who don't know, I actually did not have a cold heart for a long time. It was actually, I think, only about a month or so, maybe a month or two ago that I got my first cold heart and was able to kind of move into faster runs on some stuff like Fire Knight and the Spider. But for a long time, I was actually running two Armigers. And I do have some older videos where I feature him, but I figure it's finally time to actually get a guide out on him. I've had a couple requests recently, so definitely need to do this. So let's just go ahead and jump into it here. So first of all, let's take a look at the build. So as you can see, this armor is nothing crazy. It's all 5-star. The banner's not rolled up all the way. 4-star speed boots. But let's take a look here on the weapon. We have speed and accuracy. On the helmet, accuracy, speed, and a little bit of crit damage. On the shield, 10% crit damage, 18% crit rate, 9 accuracy. On the gauntlets, we have crit rate gauntlets with 10 speed, 31 accuracy, and 6% defense, as well as 5% HP. Then a 50% defense chest with 30 accuracy, 4 speed, 5% crit damage, and 5% HP. And on the boots, we have 4% crit damage, 12% crit rate, 5% defense. And we got him rocking a defense ring with 7% defense, a defense amulet with 9 accuracy, and a defense banner with 10% defense, bringing his total stats to a measly 28k HP, 2900 defense, 171 speed, 100% crit rate, 93% crit damage, and 228 accuracy. This is absolutely not a crazy build. These are stats that anyone can achieve. And it's basically a similar build on both of them. They both have 100% crit, 160 to 170 speed, about 3k defense, yada yada yada. This guy's actually in defense gloves though, and an accuracy banner. So you know, basically they're not amazing builds, but they work. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Masteries here. So the Masteries, I've got him coming down to War Master, and that's because if you don't know with Armiger's AI, he only uses his lay to rest ability if the target is under, I want to say 30% turn meter. So I used to use Flawless Execution, but it just really wasn't worth it. He does a lot better with War Master in my opinion. But I do have him coming down here into Cycle of Violence so that he can bring that cooldown down if he can happen to use his Lay to Rest again. As well as Stoke to Fury, so he does more damage when he has poisons on him. That's good for Spider. And then Heart of Glory to do more damage when he's at full HP. And then in the accuracy tree, I just wanted to get him a little bit more accuracy for Spider and such, as well as Evil Eye was the big one that I wanted. Master Hexer doesn't matter at all. I just kind of got it to make the red dot go away. But those are the Masteries that I'm running. I do have 2 of them, and I will go ahead and show you why, but let's get into his skills first. So Armiger, for an uncommon, has amazing skills. His A1 here attacks 1 enemy, decreases the turn meter by 30% if this attack is critical. Damage inflicted is proportional to defense. So this actually hits, I mean, not hard, but, you know, a decent amount of damage, and reduces the turn meter by 30%. It's not a chance to do it, it just does it as long as you crit. So that's why you need to build 100% crit rate on him. And then on his Lay to Rest here, it is amazing for an uncommon on a 2-turn cooldown. Attacks 1 enemy, damage inflicted is proportional to defense, and increases according to enemy max HP. So that thing right there is like a cold heart. It allows him to hit super hard if you build him to hit super hard. Mine obviously are not, so they're just going to hit a decent amount. But enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. Another great ability for an uncommon. Basically, this is kind of like a budget Rotos A3. You know, you get to block revive and do a bunch of damage. So overall, he's just got an amazing kit for an uncommon. Doesn't take a lot of books. You can just buy him in the store or just pull shards until you have enough to book him out. And he can do a lot for you throughout the game. So let's go ahead and show him off. Let's come into some dungeons here. So first we are going to go into Ice Golem. So he's actually pretty good in Ice Golem. I know you might not think it, but with that block revive as well as turn meter manipulation and good single target damage, he's actually pretty good in here. So we're going to be bringing him in with some speed, some CC, some revive, and an AoE decreased defense and Stagnite. So this is not going to be a quick run. It's going to take a little while, probably around the like 6 to 7 minute mark, because obviously we don't have anyone in here to do really big hits for us. This first wave itself is going to take probably like close to 2 minutes because of these two ladies here. They get that block debuffs for 3 turns. It just really makes it drag on as you're trying to kill them without decreased defense. Obviously, it goes a lot faster when you got some better nukers and better CC champs. But I want to show that you can come in here and just do it with these level of champions. Armiger's actually getting really low here. Hopefully Apothecary will top him off. There we go. We do have Reliquary Tender in there just in case he does go down. And, you know, as an uncommon, his base stats are not that good, so he's going to be the most likely to go down out of everybody here. But, again, that's why you run Reliquary Tender. She is amazing for teams like this. So we'll just work our way through. For some reason, he attacked the one with counterattack on, so he went down, but we got him back up and running. Like I said, this wave just takes forever fighting against these ladies. But you can see with the turn meter reduction, I think it's actually making it take longer because he's not letting them get their block debuffs off very quickly. But one more round should do it here and taking her down. There we go. Alright, and on to the next wave. So this one's going to be a little bit dangerous as well. Honestly, he really shines against the boss more so than the waves. But we'll see that in a second here. We did manage to stop the reflect damage from coming out immediately. Hopefully we get decreased defense here. We do. Let's see if we can get some more CC up on them before they get it out again. Hopefully, nope. Alright, so they're going to go ahead and go now. Armiger's about to go down. He's got a 2-turn stun on him, so he's not going to be doing a lot this wave unless he gets cleansed here. Let's see, there we go. So he's back around. As you can see, he does pretty decent damage, you know, 21k on his A1 there. So it's not like he's useless coming in here. He actually does contribute to the wave fights. We got some good CC going now, so we're not going to be taking a bunch of hits on us. Reliquary Tender keeping us healing up as well. Stag should be getting a big heal from Apothecary here in a second, I would imagine. There we go. And now just one more Terror Beast to take out, and we will be on to the boss at about the 2-minute 30-second mark. And we are moving on. Got our decreased defense going. So like I said, this is where you can really see his impact in the fight. He helps keep the turn meters on the adds down, which is big as far as just keeping your people alive. Also, if he manages to get that lay to rest off when they're at low HP, he can block their revive and just make the run a lot faster overall. We didn't end up getting that when I was testing this, unfortunately, but hopefully we will get it in this fight. I'm probably not going to show the whole thing because this, like I said, it's going to take probably over 6 minutes, but we'll see if we can happen to get it on this guy here on the first run. Alright, so as I said, single target damage is actually very good against the Ice Golem. It means that you're not going to be going in there and causing him to do his big slams too much when the adds are up. But as you saw, we did not manage to block the revive there. And as you can see, 122k, even though he's not built for damage, so he does contribute quite a bit. But I'm going to go ahead and cut here and come back in towards the end of the fight, and we'll see how we're doing. Alright, so we're coming up on the end of the fight here, about the 5-minute mark, so not too bad actually. Get that final hit for about 160k, including the War Master proc. That can go ahead and go in the trash. So, as you can see, it is a very safe run, very consistent. Armiger putting out 1.3 million damage there, so definitely no slouch. He was second only to Stagnite. And his turn meter manipulation is actually very good and very impactful as you go through with CC. You'll see that more as we get into dungeons with 2 of them. So that being said, let's go ahead and move into the Fire Knight now. I would normally show Dragon next, but I don't think he really has a place in Dragon. Dragon can't have its turn meter manipulated, and at 20 it's the wrong affinity, so we're not going to be bringing him in there. But this is actually the old team I used to use for Fire Knight back before I got a Cold Heart. So I am going to be bringing in Rosin for his 3-hit A1. I just don't really have a rare or epic that can do that. very consistently, besides like, you know, a miscreated monster or something that's really strong. So let's just go ahead and run in here. So as you'll see, there's going to be plenty of turn meter control as we come through here. Our Rosin starts out with his bog down, and that's going to reset their turn meters from the start. Then our Armigers are going to come through here, and with Evil Eye on their first A1, they're going to be dropping turn meter by 50%. So it actually adds up to a pretty decent amount coming through. Our Apothecary is taking a bit of a beating, but he should go ahead and heal himself up here pretty quick. As long as we can get this Errol's turn meter down, which we do, we'll be looking solid. He is the biggest threat coming through these waves as he hits extremely hard. But now he's not going to be able to take another turn. All of our champs are just coming through and saying, no, you need to sit down, no more turns for you. And we are on to the second wave at about 45 seconds. Now this wave usually does take a little bit longer because the liches can take a bit of a pounding. But we should be able to just come through and kind of shut these guys down as we go. So we are going to be taking one hit from Errol here in a second. But as long as we can come through and start knocking down his turn meter before we take another one, we'll be looking just fine. It's usually his second hit that does manage to do quite a bit to us. So Rosin's Evil Eye takes down his turn meter a little bit. Should hopefully be long enough for our Armiger to come through, and there we go. So Errol is done now, he's not taking another turn, and these liches are not going to be able to either. Basically, our two Armigers are just going to come through and knock down their turn meters one at a time until they're dead. So that's the cool thing, as the wave size gets smaller, the less turns they're going to be able to take. And it's kind of like a snowball effect. As long as you get through the beginning of the wave, you're pretty much set through the end. So 1 minute, 45 seconds, we are on to the boss. And basically, as soon as we get this shield down, we're going to be looking good. One more hit, so our Armiger should come in here. Boom, we get that decreased turn meter. We get the bog down, and we get our decreased defense up. So now we're looking pretty solid. We're not going to be seeing another turn from the boss here as long as Stag Knight gets his slow on soon. There we go. So now it's basically just a matter of time as far as taking him down. Just depends on how many War Master procs we get. As you can see, there's 162,000 hit from the Lay to Rest on the Armiger. So he'll keep bringing those out as long as the turn meter is down below 30%. So we'll see another one here for 132. And yeah, so 2 uncommons, 1 rare, 1 epic from the Battle Pass, and a fusible legendary. That's all it takes to get you about a 3-minute run on the Fire Knight. So definitely not bad at all. And that's it. So that's why 2 of them is very good. 1 plus a Cold Heart is also extremely good. They work very well in tandem together, so keep that in mind. But we're going to be moving on now to the Spider Boss. Alright, we don't need to keep that piece. Let's go ahead and back out here to the map, come over here. So I know this is the one that most people are excited about, is how to beat Spider 20. Because it is very difficult, and there are a couple different ways to do it. So this is an old team that I ran, and I will show that in a second. But first, let's go ahead and do this. So we are going to be keeping Miscreated Monster in there. I have done it before with Rosin as the tank instead of Miscreated Monster in my video titled Beating Spider 20 Without Miscreated Monster. So if you want to check that out, feel free to, but I don't have him built for that right now, so we're just going to have to go with Miscreated here. And we will come in and do our thing. So, oh shoot, I forgot to take Gorgrab out, whoops. We need Apothecary in there. Gorgrab is not going to do the job for us. There we go. I mean, he may have, but Apothecary is going to be a lot better with that increased speed. So we're going to go ahead, speed boost, get our shields going, and basically the idea here is our Armiger is going to be taking the hits. Boom, that was over 400k there on his A2 between that and the War Master. So he's going to be taking these. He's going to deal more damage as the poisons stack up on him. So as he gets those Lay to Rest abilities out, he's going to be doing more. And then they're both going to be coming in with their A1s and just dropping this turn meter. Works very well with Stag Knight. I used to use Tyrell in that slot, but it just, I think, had about a 1% failure rate, because Tyrell, when he uses his A3 to get, or is it his A3 or his A2? I forget. But anyways, he has a turn meter reduction, I think on a 4-turn cooldown, where he comes through and reduces 50% turn meter, which is great. but a 30% slow that just stays on permanently is going to be a much bigger effect on the spider's turn meter overall. So it allows the Armigers to come in there with their increased speed from the Apothecary and just absolutely keep the turn meter down. She'll never get to take a turn as long as the fight doesn't go on too long. I think it would take probably about 4 minutes into the fight before the spider would finally be able to get high enough to take a turn. But usually this is going to end right around the 3 to 3.5 minute mark. So as you can see, we're about 1.5 minutes in now, and we're already over halfway through her health. So it's really not that slow of a run. It is definitely not the fastest one out there, but if you're coming up through Spider and you're trying to get your Arbiter, this is definitely a good option for you if you've got Miscreated Monster. Otherwise, this actually does work very well in tandem with an off-affinity tank strategy. So something like either a really tanky Rosin or someone with an AoE A1 like a Fellhound, or just, you know, someone like an Infernal Baroness who can come out there and lifesteal gear and counterattack and just completely refill their health. So there are a lot of options that can work along with these two, which is cool. Those strategies, the off-affinity tank, don't typically work too well with something like an HP burn strategy because you're basically double dipping in the damage on the spiderlings, so you don't get the full value out of your HP burn. But like this, the Armigers are actually doing the majority of the damage with their War Master procs, so you're getting those on the main spider without actually damaging the spiderlings themselves, so the HP burn manages to tick off plenty fine, and you get your full value. So we'll see that in a second with the Ultimate Gallic. But we're coming up right around the 3-minute mark here, and we are almost done. She still has not taken a turn. 434,000 on that late arrest, and she is out of here. I'm not going to keep that, but let's go ahead and show off now what you can do to make this a little bit faster. So instead, let's see, which Armiger are you? I want the faster one. 162, so you are out of here. So instead of running 2 Armigers and an Apothecary, what you can do instead is come in with a Gorgorab and an Ultimate Gallic. And so this works plenty fine as well. Basically, the single Armiger plus Ultimate Gallic should be enough to keep the spider's turn meter down long enough to kill her, because with the increased attack from the Gorgorab, you get off these HP burns. Gallic actually has a pretty decent amount of turn meter control in his kit, especially when paired with Evil Eye, so he will help keep it down. And with the one Armiger coming through and getting off his A1s, it should be enough of a stall to just kind of burn the spider down. As you can see, we're about 30 seconds in and we're almost halfway through our HP. And so the slow definitely helps out here as well from Stagnite. But again, Tyrell could come in and help you. Now, the one downside to this is without Apothecary, Miscreated Monster won't keep the shields up 100% of the time. As you can see, our Armiger here has taken a little bit of damage, but that's fine. We should be seeing the second round of HP burns coming up here in a second, assuming that it's come back around. There we go, so we got the burns coming off again, and that basically marks the end of the run. We're just waiting for her to burn to death at this point. As long as she doesn't get to take another turn, we are good. So it's looking like it's going to be right around a 1 minute and 30-second run. There she goes, and that is the end of it. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for Armiger. This was actually a kind of difficult video to film because the software decided to crash twice while I was going, but we managed to get through it. So make sure to subscribe if you have not already. Leave a comment down below or join the Discord if you have anything you'd like to talk about, any sort of advice. I'm always happy to help you guys out, and thanks for watching.